Hey everyone, welcome to another lesson about Adobe Lightroom. So today I'm going over this one little tab, Hue, Saturation, Luminance, which is a very interesting thing to play around with and see what it does. Basically, you go under here and then you select Hue, Saturation, Luminance, or all, and it shows all three, but I like going just one at a time to make it easier. And this is very getting into the details of specifying a color and how do I change it. So if I take the oranges in this color under this hue tab, I can change the hue from being red to yellow. Now there's lots of yellows in there too, so I can take this yellow and change it as well. There's lots of blues and purples in the sky, so I can change that. So this is where you can get really funky with your colors. Under saturation, it's basically the same thing. You're picking a specific color and increasing or decreasing the saturation. And this is the way that you can solo a specific color so that everything else is black and white except for one color, which is something you've probably seen. So say let's go back to this photo, and I want everything except for the green to be desaturated. I can take all these down, the blues, the purples, the magentas, the aquas, and maybe increase the yellow a little bit because there's lots of yellow. But see, that's a pretty cool photo actually in itself. So taking away the oranges and the reds and the blues took away some colors in the mountains. And then if we want to do the opposite and just take away the green, you see how much it loses the color. And then this yellow, basically you get rid of the entire photo with the yellow and the green. So that's what that saturation tab is. We'll go back to this one. And then luminance is the brightness of a specific color. So here we have the yellows and the orange being very bright. So say we want to drop that down a little bit, and it gets pretty funky pretty fast, but you can adjust it just a little bit so that specific colors are darker or brighter. Say we want these blues to be a little bit brighter in the background. Another thing that you can do with all three of these options is click this little icon to the top left, and then you can adjust the photo by clicking and dragging wherever in the image. So say I want to, let me reset all of these back to 0. So red, yellow, green, aqua, blue, purple. So say I take this little option and click within the image to this orange, and then I drag up or down, and you can see how it affects the luminance of both the orange and the yellow slider, because whatever color I clicked had both orange and yellow in it. If I click this blue, it's got lots of that blue but also some purple. Let's go over to the saturation and I can show you this another way. So blue gets rid of the blue. You can continue from there on and kind of go through and get all the colors out except for the ones that you want. So let's get into another photo and show you how this works. So let's go into this one. This one's kind of interesting. So say I click and drag where the green is, I can get rid of all that green. Or the blue, I can get rid of the blue. Or I can increase the blue and increase the green. Or maybe I want to get rid of some of this yellow but increase the green. You can basically do anything. Or under hue, you can do the same thing but just change the color. So change the green to something more aqua, change the blue to the light blue or even a magenta color. So you would never know that this was actually a blue stained glass window if you saw it like this. Or the green, you would never know it was orange if you saw it something like this. So these are some very cool things that you can do to play around with your photos, and I suggest just playing around with that tab.